What's going on, beautiful people? It's been a hot minute since I've seen you last time, but we're here with some Snapchat ads as I promised. I know I've talked about it a couple times on my Instagram, so we're here talking about some Snapchat ads. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to talk about low budget strategy for Snapchat ads. So if you're a complete beginner, this is the right video for you. This is going to be a complete beginner for how to start your Snapchat ads, what kind of videos you run on Snapchat ads, and basically kind of get an idea of how Snapchat ads work. Before we get started, I do have a free Discord now. You can go ahead and I have more details of everything else that I talk about in this channel, but more details. So if you want to learn more, it's going to be right down below. I'll put the link down below. So go ahead and check it out and let's get into it. All right. So let's talk about Snapchat ads. This is something we have tested. In a month and a half, we generated $134,000 just running Snapchat ads. We spent about $43,000, and I believe the profit margin was about, if I'm not mistaken, about 30%. It was way higher than TikTok, way cheaper, way more profitable. There are a couple of things that I don't like about Snapchat ads, which I'm going to explain in a little bit. But as long as whenever it works, it works. It's kind of like the same thing with other ads, but there are a couple things that I really don't like about Snapchat ads, and there are a couple things that I really like. Like, for example, with TikTok ads, it's very consistent for us, very consistently running. With Snapchat is like, if Snapchat doesn't like a creative, it just does not work whatsoever. Like, and it blows through your budget, which it doesn't happen really on TikTok, but when it works, it really works. It's really cheap, it's really profitable, and it's just like the best thing ever. And it's just super profitable. It's like, I remember the first couple sales we were getting, and I was just like, oh, and it was just kind of coming, and I'm like, this is just really cheap clicks, really low CPM, really cheap CPA. Like, it was just really good. The first couple times that we were testing it out. So this is kind of a project that we kind of did in a month and a half, really testing it out. And if you look, the conversion rate is really low, actually, just because the clicks are really also cheap. So I'm going to assume that the traffic is not necessarily always the highest quality traffic, but you get a lot of traffic. So that's a good thing. So let's get into the strategy that I've used to run the ads and kind of what I think works the best when it comes to Snapchat ads. Just one thing to keep in mind, that what the type of ads that works with TikTok usually work with Snapchat ads as well, like the type. Not necessarily that every time it's gonna work out, but a lot of times the type of ads that will work out with Snapchat, with TikTok ads would work out with Snapchat ads. So it's a lot of copy paste method when it comes to the ad creatives. So that's something that you can kind of keep in mind. So it makes it so much easier to test on both platforms. And one of the things that I also noticed is that a lot of products or a lot of creatives that would work on TikTok would also work on Snapchat. So if it's not working on TikTok, most likely it would not also perform on Snapchat ads. Just keep that in mind. Honestly, I personally didn't think, again, who uses Snapchat these days? Like, who would use it? But a lot of people are in Snapchat. So let's get on Snapchat. There are a couple things I want to kind of talk about before we get started. One of the things is Pixel. The Pixel is very complicated setting it up, but I found the best way to actually setting it up. I'm going to have it on Discord somewhere. I'm not going to waste this video showing you how to do it. It's the manual way of doing it, but there's a bunch of apps you can use to actually set it up. However, even when you do that, it's not the most accurate way. So what I do is when I run the ads, it's kind of the same thing that I do with TikTok ads. Is if the clicks are too expensive, I just kill the ads. I set it up, I just kill the ads if they're too expensive. So what is too expensive? So for me, these are the ad sets. They're called ad sets. So the clicks here, the average clicks here are about, let's scroll down, 30 cents. The CPM is about $5. And what I would do is if every time the clicks are over $1, I would just kill them. Most likely, if they're over $1, they're not performing really well. And another thing is like click rate. This is something that after a while it died off. But just keep in mind also another thing is like I noticed it's like the similarity between the platforms, right? Between TikTok ads or Snapchat ads or Facebook ads. Usually if you're getting less than 1% click-through rate, or in this case, swipe up rate, it's just not a good sign. Most of the time they're not gonna perform. So the couple things that I always keep in mind when I'm looking at the ads, I'm like, okay, what is it that I'm paying attention to? Is in this case, I guess, swipe. is over $1, is not a good sign. Most likely that ad is not performing no matter what. If the swipe up rate is under 1%, again, I'm just gonna assume that they're not doing well. It's the same thing with TikTok, same thing with Facebook, same thing with honestly a lot of platforms. It's just like if it's not doing that, it's not good. The CPM here is $5, which is really good. It's kind of the same kind of case scenario with TikTok. So a lot of rules that you follow and other different platforms is kind of like the same thing that you follow here. So it's not like once you learn one platform, you learn the other platform. Now, let's get into how I actually create the campaign and how I go about it. So one thing I don't like about Snapchat ads is that when you start running the ads, you're not going to have purchase conversion access, which is fine. What I actually like to do, I like to run TikTok ads, and then whenever I get a couple sales, then I start running, like you warming up the pixel, and then once you have that option, because once you get sales, the purchase pixel is warmed up, so it's going to turn on, if that makes sense, on Snapchat. Then you can run that, because there's no point when you run click, I never get sales, So the first page is the campaign, just like very similar to other platforms. You have awareness, you have promote places, app installs, all that stuff. We don't care. The one thing that I focus on is website conversion. So we're going to go to website conversion. So we're going to click on that. And we're going to scroll down. I'm not very organized, so I just named them whatever. Whatever you want to name it. Let's say baby bed. I don't know. Let's just call it that. You have dynamic ads, just like Facebook and all that. And just like, TikTok, Facebook. They all have it. You can do daily budget, you can do lifetime spend, just any other platform. I honestly, with the start date, I don't stress as long as it's not late in a day. But if it's like 9 p.m., I don't set it up. I would just do it for the next day. I would just leave it the way it is. I'm not stressing so much about the start date. But if you're just testing the product, I would probably just do midnight. Anyhow, let's go next. You can do their ad sets, then you set the pixel. Whenever you set up the pixel, like I said, you can either go on YouTube and then Google how to set up your pixel and then figure out how to set up the pixel, or go check out my Discord down below. Somewhere in the Discord have how to set up your pixel, and then we're gonna scroll down. When Snapchat doesn't like your creative, your product, it would run through your budget real quick. So I just do $20 if I'm not doing max budget. I think that's what it is. Was it max bid? Sorry, which is basically cost cap and manual bidding on Facebook and TikTok. Anyhow, so here it's called max bid. So basically you're saying that you want your sales to be under a certain amount of dollar, right? So like if you want it under $10, then you put $10 here. And if you want to just auto bid, you can just do auto bid and just put $20, which is fine for testing, is fine. When I'm scaling, I like to always do max bid, because you never know. I don't like to wake up and just like, woof, it just spent all through my budget. And then you can have your target cost, which honestly, I don't see crazy amount of difference between these two. So I just always go with max bid. Just also keep in mind, we've been running Snapchat ads for less than a year. So I'm not saying that I'm a pro in this, but I've I've generated some money compared to like TikTok. We've done millions, in Facebook. With Snapchat, it's in hundreds of thousands of dollars. A little bit less than, what I would consider, I'm a pro, because like we spend so much money on TikTok. At this point, I would probably spend more money on TikTok than Facebook even. I like to think that I know what I'm talking about. So we're gonna scroll down. Here again, this is what I was talking about the goal, right? So whenever you don't have the pixel, you're gonna have click available. And then whenever you get a couple sales, then you're going to have pixel purchase available. So we want to always pick pixel purchase. That's what usually gets me all the sales, right? I usually leave it at 28 days. Sometimes I do 7 day, but I realize it's going to make it so much more expensive. And then, like I said, if you're scaling, when I'm scaling, I like to actually do max bid, and I just put like 10. If that's what my goal is. It's crazy. It gives you crazy ideas. I don't know why. So don't do that. I just do auto bid if my budget is $20. But let's say like my budget was like $100 or $200, and I would go max bid and I do $10. So to make sure that my ads are not just like it's not running through my budget quickly. Then you can go edit placement. I don't really do that. I just keep it automatic. Don't care. When you're testing, again, how I like to set it up, I do United States, Canada. So one thing I like to do, I like to have couple ad sets. And then a lot of people ask how many ad sets would I do. I usually do 5, 6, 7, depending on how many creatives I have also, and what places I feel like testing. But anything between 5 to 10, to be honest. Sweet spot, it would be 8, right? But minimum is 5, minimum at least 5. I like to always do couple, just Canada and United States, and I would like to do a couple that is for big four. So I would do United Kingdom, United States, Canada, and then Australia. So that would be it, right? And I just leave it there. And then scrolling down, I do 18, and then all English, just leave it kind of like that. Pretty easy. I don't like to play around a lot with, changing too much or doing targeting. I think TikTok took off targeting. You can't even do targeting anymore. It's automatic. I never ever do targeting in any platform. Not TikTok, not here. One thing that you gotta keep in mind, your ad creative is what gets you sales. So even if you do everything wrong with your ads, with your creative is good enough, you're gonna get sales still. So you wanna keep that in mind whenever you're creating stuff. Your ad creative is the most important thing. Try to test with at least 3-4 creatives whenever you're testing. So you can either have different ad groups for it, or you can put the ad creatives within the same ad sets or ad sets here, ad groups and TikTok. And then everything else I probably leave the same and then go next. All right, cool. So one other thing here, you got to name your ad set, let's say baby bed or whatever you want to call it. And then brand name, it's optional. If you already have your profile name here, it would show it here, but then you can put your brand name here. I don't know, let's see, baby bed daddy. Weird name, but okay. And then it would show as the name up there. And then you could have your headline, whatever, never slept better. Whatever you want to say. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. It got to be short and sweet. And call to action, you can do get now. You could do more. You could do order now. I don't really stress about these things a lot. I literally randomly just pick whatever that I feel like picking at that point. You put your URL to your product page here, and then you go ahead and upload your media here, and then everything is set. Cool. You go review and publish it. If you want to have more creatives inside there, then you can go here and then create more ads in there and then put it inside your ad sets. Or you can create it separately so you can kind of track it a little bit different. I personally like to have it on Snapchat. I don't know why. I like to have it separately. Snapchat is weird. I don't know. Snapchat gives me a different vibe compared to TikTok. With TikTok, I don't mind. I could have 3-4 creatives inside one ad group. I'm totally fine going in separately, checking them. But with Snapchat, I feel like I like to see one each doing inside each ad sets and how it's affecting it in different countries. So I like to do it separately, but up to you. And then after that, you can go ahead and publish it. Then you can go ahead and duplicate your ad sets and then create a brand new ad creative inside there. It's kind of weird how you have to set it up. It's a little bit more difficult on TikTok, but you'll figure it out. This is basically how I set them up. But just keep in mind, everything with Snapchat, with TikTok, is all about your creatives, not necessarily how you're setting up your ads. But this is how we've been setting it up, how we've been getting sales, how we've been doing it, just kind of testing, with Snapchat ads and stuff. Like I said, I like to think I'm way more comfortable with TikTok, but we've been creating, we've been generating and playing around with Snapchat a lot. So I'm trying to put more content out there too, because it's such a copy paste method. Like the things that we're selling on TikTok, we'll put it on Snapchat, I would just perform. And right now there's another store that we're working on, and a new ad groups, new ad account, and a new store that the things that we're selling on TikTok, we just put them on Snapchat and doing really well. So I'm gonna make a video eventually for that as well at some point. And then let me know in the comment down below if you have any questions. Just don't forget to like and subscribe if you want me to make videos like this more often. And don't forget to join our free Discord down below. Put the link down below. We have a lot of new information. We're putting it together, and there's gonna be updates. It's gonna be a community. Me and my business partner Scoot been working hard on, putting everything back together, creating something new, creating something that, I don't know, fresh, starting fresh. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys on the next video.